What's up, guys? This is Kygo. I'm here in New York City at Facebook's office, and I'm gonna answer some questions today. So I have some questions right here that I'm gonna start off with. The first one is, who were your biggest musical inspirations growing up? And I think I've been listening to so much different music because my dad is very interested in music. My stepdad is also very interested, so I've been like surrounded by music since I was a little kid. So I've been listening to everything, like Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones, and Billy Joel, Elton John. I guess when I was like a teenager, 13, 14 years old, I started listening to a lot of bands myself, Red Hot Chili Peppers and Foo Fighters and The Killers. So it's mostly bands, and kind of more into the rock genre growing up. Next question. What was my first job? My first job was actually as a postman. I was loving that job actually because I could just drive around in a car listening to music by myself the whole day, and that was perfect. Next question. Favorite thing to do on a day off? I guess I love to just hang out with friends and have a couple of beers and just relax. But I guess when I go back home and I have time off from touring, I basically go back home to make music. So I guess music is basically what I do when I have time off. Let me see here. Best gift you've ever received from a fan? I actually got a lot of cool gifts from fans. I was just in Asia, got some cool chopsticks. I think, and I got from a Norwegian fan. I got a chocolate CD. So I got a lot of very nice and cool gifts from my fans. Nice. Go.
Switch, you could do whatever you want.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me see if I can find some questions from you guys. When are you coming to South Africa? I would love to come as soon as possible. I don't have anything exact planned yet, but I'll definitely come pretty soon, I hope. Bilal is asking, will you ever come to Pakistan? I hope so. I will definitely try my best to get it into my tour plans. I don't know. When are you coming to Italy? Hopefully soon as well. I actually don't have any exact dates, but I love Italy. I love the food. I love everything. So hopefully I'll be there pretty soon. Lily is asking, favorite thing to eat when I'm in the studio. And I love sushi. That's usually what I order every time I'm in the studio. And I eat chocolate, too much chocolate, and I drink a lot of energy drinks, which is probably not healthy at all, but that's what I do in the studio. Gregory is asking, how did you come up with your first tropical remix? I guess it was just, I was just sitting in my bedroom experimenting with different sounds and different styles of music, and I started out making a lot of more upbeat stuff. I was very inspired by Avicii, Swedish House Mafia, and I basically tried to sound like Avicii, and I tried to sound like Swedish House Mafia, but then after a while I got a little bit tired of like everybody tried to sound like Avicii. So I tried to kind of find my own thing and my own sound. So I started listening to a lot of different music, more deep house, and a couple of almost unknown producers out there, and I kind of just ended up with the sound that I have. And I remember I remixed Passengers' Let Her Go. That was like one of my first kind of like tropical remixes, and I remember when I saw the reactions from that remix, I just knew that I was onto something. The comments were just great. There was a lot of a lot of feedback. People love that style of music, so I just kind of stick to it. Let's see here. Here's a question from Yufe Benali. I don't know what to say, but from where did you get inspired the idea of producing that album, and why you choose Kids in Love as a name for it? I guess I just like inspiration. I just find inspiration in music in general. So I just listen to a lot of different music, and whenever I hear a cool melody or a cool like effect or a cool sound, I just kind of note that in the back of my head, and I try to kind of play around with a similar style, a similar type of sound, or so I just find inspiration in a lot of different music. And the inspiration with the album, I guess it's just different music, and I was in the studio working with a lot of super talented songwriters. I get a lot of demos sent over, so probably half the songs on the album is just demos I get sent over through my label or through my management. There's so many talented people out there, so I just try to find those super talented songwriters. And I chose Kids in Love because I just felt that it was like a powerful title, and Kids in Love is all about the feeling of being a kid in love. Is just a feeling of happiness and being super passionate about someone or something. And I'm super passionate about music, and whenever I make a melody in the studio that I love, I just feel this kind of intense feeling of happiness. I feel like a kid in love, so I just thought it was a good title for the album. Let's see here. Who would you like to work with next? I'm a big fan of Ed Sheeran. I would love to work with Ed Sheeran. The Weeknd, Coldplay, Imagine Dragons. There's a lot of talented people out there, so. But I guess, yeah, Ed Sheeran has always been on top of my list, so hopefully. Let's see here. Here's a question from Sayendra. When are you coming to India? I'm actually coming to India this month. I'm coming to India the 24th, 25th, and 26th of November. So just in a couple weeks. Let me see here. What's your favorite song of the album? It's always tough to pick one favorite, because obviously when I make a song and I love the songs, so it's tough. I think Kids in Love is the title track. It's one of my favorite tracks I've ever done, because it has this kind of 80s vibe, like a retro 80s vibe over it, and I'm just so inspired by all those old tracks, those old school tracks. So I think if I have to say one, it's probably Kids in Love, the title track. Let me see here. I was at the Monster Mashup event in Manchester. Did Juan Mata come on stage? I'm sure I heard you introduce him. Yes, he did. He was there. He actually just came halfway through my show, and I saw him side stage, and I just invited him on stage. So he was there, and he had a great time, I think. And he's a great guy as well. Melissa is asking, what inspired you to make Stole the Show? Stole the Show was actually a demo I got from Parson James, the singer. And it was just something about that demo. When I got it, I just loved it. I loved his voice. I loved the track, basically. And I just started producing around it, and I came up with this melody that it just felt right. So that was kind of a quick process. I remember I started working on it, and probably couple of hours later, I had the lead melody, so the track was probably done in a couple of days. Olivier is asking, what's your best place to create new music? And for me, I love just going back home in Bergen, Norway. That's where I'm from. And just that's kind of where I can relax, and there's no going in and out of hotel rooms. There's no kind of chaos going on around me. So I just love going back home to Bergen, Norway, relax and get in there. That's where I can get in the creative zone. So that's probably the best place for me to make music. Steven is asking, when are you coming to Dublin? I'm coming to Dublin on my Kids in Love tour, which starts in February. So I think it's in the middle of February sometime. Sergi is asking, what do you think is more popular nowadays, hip-hop or EDM? Hip-hop is very on fire right now, but like for me, I obviously love electronic music. But I do think there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool collaborations between the two, hip hop and electronic music, which is pretty cool. So I think they're, but it's tough to kind of say which one is more popular. I think it's both very popular these days. Hi from Italy. I love your last song, Stargazing. Thanks so much. Big noise. Anthony is asking, where would you want to go? A place you've never been. Ooh. That's tough. There's a lot of cool places I would love to go. I think maybe like Peru or Chile or some place in South America that I haven't been. I've seen a lot of cool, nice photos, so probably there. I wish to. What Imke is asking, what would you be if you weren't a DJ? I don't know. I'd probably still be a postman. That was my first job. So I started studying though. I started studying business and finance at some point, but I was basically just making music all the time. So I'm pretty happy the music worked out in the end.
Let's do 3 more questions.
Okay, 3 more questions. Let me see. Daniela is asking, best experience in your career. My best experience, that's a tough one because I've been very happy. I got a lot of cool opportunities, played a lot of cool places. I guess a couple of the best experiences. I did play the closing ceremony of the Olympics in Rio last year, which was pretty crazy. Very surreal feeling to stand there in a stadium, 90,000 people, and hundreds of millions of people watching. So that was pretty cool. I guess, and I played I had my Cloud9 festival in my hometown, Bergen, which was 24,000 people. It was just a crazy experience to play for that many people in your hometown. And then Coachella is probably another cool experience, and Ultra Music Festival in Miami. That's 2 festivals I've always dreamed about playing, and I played there 2 years ago, and this year actually at Ultra. Let me see. What's your favorite food to eat? I guess I will say sushi. I love sushi. I have time for 1 or 2 more questions. Let me find one. Yannick is asking, what have changed the most in your life after you became famous? I guess what's the number one kind of change is that I'm very busy. I'm traveling all the time, and there's just a lot of things going on all the time around me. But I guess I'm just super happy that I have the opportunity to travel around the world, meet my fans in different countries, and play festivals. So yeah, I'm just living a dream. Last question. Let me go a little bit further down here. Raphael is asking, how did it all begin for you, and how old were you? You were one of my biggest inspirations to start DJing. Thank you, Raphael. I guess with me, it all began. I started playing piano when I was 6 years old. I started taking lessons for around 10 years. And I started composing my own melodies on the piano while I was taking these lessons. So I guess that's where it all began. And then I just continued. I actually quit the piano lessons because I just loved jamming on a piano. I didn't have to learn a specific a song. I just loved sitting down on a piano and just jamming and just coming up with my own melodies. So I did that for a couple of years, and then back in 2008, 2009, I started listening a lot to Avicii, and I just got very inspired by his style of music. So I decided to learn myself how to produce music. So I bought a MacBook and a MIDI keyboard, and I was just watching YouTube tutorials and learning myself how to produce music. So I guess that's how it all started. I was probably 17 or 18 years old when I started to produce music. So that was when it all started. Questions were, Serafina, why are you just wearing black and white most of the time? I don't know. I guess I'm just boring when it comes to clothes. Maybe I should try to introduce some more colors. How much time do we have? Any more?
You can wrap it up. Yeah, you can do it.
I'll do a couple more questions.
2 more.
Let me see. Where's your favorite place to play? From Alex. I don't know. I've played so many cool shows in a lot of different places, and I was just in Asia. It was this great crowd in Japan and South Korea. There was so many cool places to play, and Europe in general, and in the US and South America. There's so many. It's usually just a great crowd everywhere. So I think it's hard to pick a favorite place. It is. Liam is asking, can you come to Australia, please? And I'm planning on it. I'm definitely trying to come soon. It's been too long. I was there like 3 years ago, and that's the last time I've been to Australia. So I will definitely love to come back, and I'm gonna make sure it happens. There's Clayton Carroll. Will you release a piano version of your album? Your previews were incredible, and it would be amazing to have those full versions. I'm definitely planning on doing more of the piano stuff, and I've seen a lot of comments. People are asking me about this, like if I can release piano covers of my songs, and I'm planning on it. So I will definitely do more acoustic stuff, and yeah, maybe look out for some more piano jams in the future. I'm definitely planning on making more of those.
One more.
Yeah, last question. Let me see here. excellent questions. I'm trying to pick a good one at the end there. Danielle is asking, are you expecting to have a tour? Yes, I'm going on a Kids Love tour starting in February next year, going first to Europe and then to the North America, and then we will release a phase 2 pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And I guess maybe that's, I actually have to go to Oslo. I'm on my way to the airport here, so I guess I have to round it off now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the questions. It's great talking to you guys, and let's do this again soon. Thank you guys.